Good day and welcome to section 7.4, day 2. We're going to look at some problems from the assignment 13 through 27 all. First one, number 13, we're going to simplify if we can. Since there's nothing to simplify, we're going to rewrite it as the cube root of 11 over the cube root of 8. And this one stays the same. The cube root of 8 I can simplify to 2 minus sign and minus the cube root of 11 over 6. Then we're going to multiply both top and bottom by 3 because in addition to having the same radical part the same to be able to add or subtract, you need to have the denominator the same. When I do that, I have 3 cube roots of 11 minus 1. If there's no number there, it's a 1. So 3 minus 1 gives me 2 cube roots of 11 over 6. And the last thing we can do here is the numbers outside the radical can be simplified into 1 cube root of 11 over 3. And if I don't want to write the 1, I don't have to. Let's move on to question number 14. It's a fraction one also. 2 cube roots of 4 over 7 minus the cube root of 4 over 14. We're going to need to find our common denominator because our radical part is already the same. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 2, which is going to give me 4 cube roots of 4 minus 1 cube root of 4 gives me 3 cube roots of 4 all over 14. The next one we're going to try is number 15, another fraction one. I have the square root of 20x over 9 plus the square root of 5x over 9. Notice that the square root is bigger in the second fraction, so it's the square root of the top and the bottom. This one's only the square root of the top. If I take my square root of the top, I'm going to rewrite it as 5 times 4. The square root of 4 is going to come out as a 2, and square root of 5x is left over. In the second one, if I can simplify, I would, but there's nothing to simplify, so I write 5x over the square root of 9. Well, the square root of 9, I can simplify that to 3. Again, if the radical part is the same and there's a fraction, we also need common denominator, so I'm multiplying top and bottom by 3. So when I do that, I end up with 2 square roots of 5x plus 3 square roots of 5x gives me 5 square roots of 5x all over 9. Let's take a look now at question number 18. We have the square root of 16 minus 5 root 10 plus 7. Simplifying the square root of 16, it's 4. Make sure when you take the square root of something, you take it out of the radical. And the rest of it stays the same. We can only put things that are alike together. So 4 and 7 make 11. And I cannot do this subtraction because this 5 is connected to this radical thing. So this is without a radical, this is with a radical. You can't add or subtract things that are not the same radical. So we're done here. Let's move on to number 20. 20 says 3 root 7 minus the cube root of x plus 4 root 7 minus 3 cube root of x. In this one, we're going to put some like terms together. Here we have a root 7, 3 root 7. Here we have a 4 root 7. The radical parts are the same, so we can put them together and make 7 root 7. In here we have the cube root of x, and here's a cube root of x term. If there's no number in front, we can put a 1 there. Negative 1 minus 3 gives me negative 4 cube roots of x. Let's try number 21. It says 3 times the square root of 108 minus 2 square roots of 18 minus 3 square roots of 48. When we break these up, we need to take perfect squares out. So I'm going to break up 108 into 27 times 4. 18 is going to be 9 and 2. And 48 is 16 and 3. When I simplify that, okay, that's fine. When we bring out the 4, it'll become 3 times 2 is 6. Here I bring out the 9, it becomes a 3. 3 times 2 is 6. And here the 16 comes out as 4, gives me negative 12 root 3. Now this one doesn't seem to be in simplest form. So I'm going to do some more factoring on that one because that's 9 times 3. Even though I picked a perfect square, I may not have pulled out the biggest perfect square. So I can bring out another 3. 6 times the 3 that I pull out gives me 18 root 3. Well, good thing we did that because we have a root 3 term and another root 3 term. 18 minus 12 is 6 square roots of 3 minus 6 square roots of 2. Let's take a look at number 22. 22 says negative square root of 75 plus the square root of 12 minus 3 root 3. Well, this is 25 times 3, so when I bring that out, the 5 will come out of there, leaving me with negative 5. Because the negative was out there. Square roots of 3. This is 4 times 3, so the 2 comes out, root 3 left behind. And the last one's already in simplest form. They all have the same radical parts, so I'm going to take negative 5 plus 2 minus 3 gives me negative 6 root 3. Let's take a look at question number 24. It says negative 2 cube roots of 108 minus the cube root of 32. When I break this up, I need to look in my cube column because I'm pulling out cube roots. So I'm going to break this up into 27 times 4. This one I'm going to break up into 8 and 4. And the cube root of 27 is 3. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Cube roots of 4. Cube root of 8 is 2. Cube roots of 4. And negative 6. And negative 2 gives me negative 8. Notice that the radical part doesn't change when we actually do the addition and subtraction. All right. Have a good day.